Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about exactly what you guys need to know with regards to applying for an American Express card, the minimum credit scores you should have before applying, and what to do if you happen to get denied for one of these bad boys right here. Now, although Chase remains one of my favorite banks in terms of generosity with the welcome bonuses they offer and how easy it is to use their points, American Express is really a close second in terms of the customer support they offer and really the status and benefits. American Express is really a close second for me. Not only do they offer very good status benefits for their cards offer a good amount of points as well. It just takes a little bit of work to be able to maximize some of those membership reward points compared to the ultimate reward points that you get with Chase. Now, I think it's good to mention that American Express actually does a very good job with a couple simple things that I really appreciate as a credit card customer. That's really just having good customer support. I've never had an issue with that. Now, in addition to that, I really just appreciate the fact that we have different competition. We have other credit card issuers that we can go to. I think that's good for anyone getting into the game just to diversify. Say you have all your cards with Chase and something happens. Chase devalues their points. Maybe they shut your account down. There could just be a lot of things that go wrong. One of the best things to do if you're trying to get into credit cards is to really diversify everything that you have. Diversify the points that you have, diversify the cards that you carry, and really the whole point of doing this is just to minimize any type of risk that may happen to your account. Now, before you guys apply for an American Express card, there's a couple things you guys need to take into consideration. Just like any other credit card issuer, there's always going to be rules to it. Chase has their own set of rules like the 524 rule, or being able to apply for a certain amount of cards, or building a relationship with them first before applying for some of their higher tier luxury cards. American Express actually has their own rules too. Now, keep in mind, American Express is way more generous with accepting new applicants, so the rules aren't as strict, but there are things that you guys do need to know. Now, keep in mind, American Express has two different types of cards. They have credit cards and they have charge cards. I made a video a long time ago on my channel just talking about the differences, but generally all you need to know for the differences between a charge card and a credit card is the fact that charge cards really don't have a set credit limit like credit cards do. Whenever you guys get a regular or a typical credit card, it's going to say you have a $1,000 limit or a $2,000 limit. With charge cards, there really is no preset limit. Yes, you could figure out what that limit really is, but that's something that you guys shouldn't do. And the reason why you guys shouldn't do that is because that can lead to a financial review and shut down too. And American Express is one of the companies that are very sensitive to anyone trying to game the system. So if American Express's algorithm detects any fraudulent activity on your account, there's a chance that they can ask for a financial review on your credit card statement. That's not something you guys want because that can lead to a shutdown or a decrease in your credit limits. The general rule of thumb with American Express is 5 credit cards. Now, this is a rule that isn't set in stone, but this is really based off of data points from a majority of credit card holders. There are people out there who have multiple cards, more than 5 cards with American Express, that may be 5 credit cards and 2 charge cards. But generally, if you have 5 cards with American Express, chances are you don't want to push it. And if you do want to apply for another card, you may want to cancel one of the cards before applying for another one. Now, I know I always say don't cancel credit cards. It's bad for you. There actually are a couple exceptions to that rule. One of the exceptions would be when you're trying to get another American Express card, your only other option is really to downgrade or to cancel a card if you're not trying to get over that 5 credit card limit with American Express. So let's talk about numbers and timings of applications for your American Express card. So with American Express, surprisingly, you guys could actually apply for 2 cards within one day. You could apply for a credit card and a charge card just because they are 2 different categories of cards. Now, I recommend people not to apply for 2 cards at once if you don't have to, but this is really something that a lot of other users have been able to do and get away with. Now, the reason why I don't recommend you guys to apply for 2 cards at the same time is just because this is a long-term game. Most people have trouble hitting that welcome bonus for just 1 card. Imagine hitting 2 welcome bonuses within the span of 3 months. On average, a welcome bonus, you have to spend $3,000 to $5,000. If you end up spending $6,000 to $10,000, sometimes that's a significant jump and other people may not be able to hit it. Or if you do hit it, you may end up going in debt, and that is the last thing I want from you guys. Now, I usually recommend people to not apply for cards within a 90-day period, but there are also data points that people have been approved for 2 credit cards with American Express within that 90-day period. In the past, American Express actually allowed you to get multiple welcome bonuses for that same credit card. Now, since 2014, that has actually been taken away. So if you guys are looking to apply for an American Express card, the rule is that you can only get that welcome bonus once now. What that means is if I get the platinum card once and I get rid of it, and in a couple years I wait and then I reapply for the card, I'm not going to get that welcome bonus again. This same rule just applies to every single one of American Express's cards. Now, with that in mind, you guys really want to be strategic about the way you time your cards. You may not want a product change or upgrade into a card if you know you're not going to be able to get that welcome bonus. At the end of the day, people realize welcome bonuses are really the fastest way to get a lot of points quick. Once you take welcome bonuses out of the equation and you're really just left with that small digit cashback number where you're getting 5%, 1%, or even 2% back on your purchases, you then start to realize it's gonna be a little difficult to try to accumulate more than 1,000,000 points if you're just getting 5% back on your daily purchases. Now, even 5% right there is a pretty generous number just because you usually only see that within certain quarters. So I say generally 2 to 3% is what you're gonna get on average. Now, here's some of that fire that you guys are waiting for. So what is the minimum score that you guys need for certain credit cards that you're trying to get approved for? Well, surprisingly enough, American Express, although they're regarded as this prestigious and very valuable company, they're actually not a company that requires a high credit score for you to get approved with them. Yeah, I know, I may have gone overboard with my American Express Gold cards. I just really liked the cards when they came out. But generally, for this card, you really want to have a score of at least 670 before applying for this card. Now, to me, it blows my mind too, just because when you see a card like this, you assume that you need to have an excellent score just to get approved. I think this being a charge card actually makes it a lot easier to get, just because the repercussion of not paying off your credit card bill on time is going to have a more severe effect. So for the American Express Platinum card, you generally want a score of at least 700. On average, it's about 715 of new applicants, but there have also been data points of people getting accepted for the American Express Platinum card with a score as low as 643. That blows my mind too, just because this is a card that has an annual fee of over $500, depending on which version you get, but that is a high annual fee, and if they're accepting applicants with a score like that, that is very surprising as well. Now, I unfortunately don't have the American Express green card on me just because I don't think it was a good enough card for me to personally get, but generally for the American Express green card, you want a score of at least 670, and there have been reports of people getting accepted for this card with a score of 630. At the end of the day, American Express is really the issuer that has the final say on whether or not you guys are going to get approved for a card. I've made a video on how to get approved for any card out there, and this is really taking advantage of the reconsideration line. So if you guys do happen to get declined for any one of these cards, usually it's a computer algorithm that does it automatically, but sometimes what you guys can actually do is talk to a live person on the phone and let them know your situation. And when you talk to one of these live reps, you have the opportunity to actually reverse this decision. They have a click of a button right there, they can actually get you approved for a card. I talked about how you guys can do this in one of my last videos. It's just called how to get approved for any credit card. Now, bottom line, you guys, if you're someone who has a low score, usually what that means is that you're carrying a balance on one of your cards. I really recommend you guys to focus on that credit card debt before applying for other credit cards. If you're someone who actually does get accepted for a credit card like this, in addition to the credit card debt that you may have, you're also paying an annual fee of this card that you have to worry about, and then additional spend that you have to do once you get a card like this. And then you also have to worry about the welcome bonus spend that you also have to do. So really, yes, someone with a lot of credit card debt could get accepted for any one of American Express's cards, but is it something I recommend? Probably not, you guys. I really want what's best for my audience. I really don't want you guys to fall in the trap of trying to flex on people that you really don't care about and thinking that just getting these cards is going to improve the value of your life if it really isn't. If you're someone who has an underlying issue with credit cards, if you're someone who doesn't know how to manage their credit cards well, and you have issues of actually paying off your cards on time, then I really don't recommend you guys to actually go for this card. But if you're someone who's in a unique situation, maybe you have a low score temporarily, or maybe you're just getting into the credit card game, just know this: American Express, very, very generous with accepting new applicants, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. But you guys also have to keep in mind that American Express specifically is actually working pretty hard this quarter to actually shutting down a lot of accounts that are misusing their program. So if you're someone who's going to go and apply for 100 of these cards at the same time, it's not going to be worth it. I'm telling you that. Credit card approvals are never guaranteed, but you can always definitely increase your chances of getting them. Just make sure, if you guys are in the game of using credit cards to travel the world for free, to get a lot of points so you guys never have to pay for hotels, flights again, just make sure you guys use your credit cards appropriately. I think that's really the best tip to leave this video off with. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it did, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. And also, let me know, what was your first American Express credit card? My first credit card with American Express was the Gold card. Then after that, it was the American Express Business Prime card. And then after that, it was a Marriott Bonvoy card. And after that, I have have the American Express Platinum and the Business Platinum now too. So, you know, I really didn't rush everything. I spread out these applications within, I would say, a minimum of 3 months. So it's been about over a year, maybe 2 years now. And before applying for these cards, I would usually space them out, exceptions to the Platinum and the Business Platinum card. But the reason why I actually applied for those within the same month is because American Express themselves called me. So a senior client account manager called me with all the information I had about this card, and she called me with a brand new offer for this card, which was really good at the time. So generally on the Business Platinum version of the American Express card, you have to spend a lot of money, you guys. You have to spend like $25,000 on that card. So I got an adjusted offer where if I spent $10,000, I would still get 100,000 points. And $10,000 during Q4, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas season, my birthday, New Year's, it's just an easy time for me to buy gifts and spend money that I was going to anyways. So definitely a good time. And also keep in mind, you guys, we have tax season coming up. So if anyone is self-employed, this is also a very easy way to get that welcome bonus once and for all. If you own your own business, you usually have to pay taxes at the end of the year if you're a compliant, good citizen like myself. But you guys really want to plan your strategy according to that too, just because it's very easy to actually pay your taxes with a credit card. They actually have all the processes and systems set up on the IRS's end. So they have multiple credit card processors. All you have to do is just punch in your number and you're good to go. And if you do this strategically, you could actually get more than 20% back on the taxes that you have to pay the government. So keep in mind, you guys, I'll make more videos just on how you guys can do this and strategies that you guys should go about in terms of maximizing your rewards and just pretty much getting free money, guys. And like I always say, you guys, if you are interested at all in getting any of the cards I mentioned, the American Express Gold card, the Platinum card, the Blue Business Plus card, those are some of the cards that I have affiliate links to down below, and that supports the channel a lot. So thank you guys so much to anyone who has been using the links. I really do appreciate it. It supports the channel an incredible amount, and I really hope I see you guys in the next one. Peace.